And we're live. Hi everyone, this is amateurgamer and I'll be returning to Beyond All Reason, and I'm back with another commentary game. This time we'll be having a 3v3 on the Comet Catcher Remake 1.8. On the left hand side, I pause too quickly. We have Barcast TV as orange, Pro Randy as red, and Pro Shaman as yellow. On the right hand side, we have Eco Noob as blue, Goopy as teal, and was Zestro, and I'm probably butchering that, I apologize, that as green. And yeah, this is the second game I'll be commentating. As I mentioned in the first one, these are pulled at random. I don't know how the game goes. I don't know the outcome. I'm in the dark as much as anyone else who is watching this video. So here we have Solar Collector guard already. Green is playing very cautious. Maybe in defense against possible cheese? I'm saying the guard is really early because normally players don't start their vehicle plant or a bot lab until now. So even if they build something now and get it to the other side, I wonder if that was a good choice though, because building guard meant the metal extractor wasn't built, solar collector, and this vehicle plant is delayed. I mean, here we already have a bot plant that's already sending out ticks. And for green, their vehicle plant is still not ready. I'm not criticizing, I'm just stating what I'm seeing. Ooh, an early radar just to avoid any possible. And also speeding up these light scale vehicles. Wait, is there a reason why yellow is circling here? For teal, it looks more like trying to get some light on things. Okay, so they are aware of the single rascal that's going through. And there is a pawn, so unless red is actively trying to, I mean, you could see the waypoints. It might get hunted down. Is it gonna take out 2 ticks? That's pretty good. That's 2 of the enemy's ticks going down the drain. And I know ticks, I mean, it's still resources, right? It's still 17. I mean, it'll be 34 if it's 2 of them. We see some light tanks. We see blue already pushing a bit further out. There are some grunts. The question is, will it be like the last game I commentated, where we're gonna see a split in the middle where we see static defenses, or we're gonna see a lot more, or will we see a lot more unit mobility? We have solar collectors. I mean, to me this looks like a space map, so I'm surprised there's any wind speed, but don't mind me. But we do see quite a bit of solar collector. Anything happening in this area? No combat. I was gonna say no combat, but I heard something. But it might be a scouting. So we have some light tanks. Okay, these light tanks are just hunting down. Did that do friendly damage? Or is that from the enemy? I can't tell. But yeah, that's one of the things I noticed in my gameplay is like, do I get down defenses or do I go for the greedy play? So we do have some guards here and another radar tower, which does tell them. I mean, it's just red dots at this point, right? Until they scout this out to green, they don't know what's here. Sentry. Are there any units supporting this? A riot. Ooh, riot tanks are interesting. They are more expensive and take a bit longer. But if the Armada commander isn't ready, those and the commander could be quite dangerous. Are we gonna see some commander on commander, or is that within range? Okay, I guess it doesn't show a radius. They're targeting radius in replays. But we do see green with their pawns. Who's building these? Are those going to be built by the commander? I can't tell. So we definitely see the center area. Everyone's drawing the line. Red is... I mean, we see that red is... Red and teal are kind of having kind of a slight overlap. Not quite in the middle. Oh shoot. This gonna be commanders? The question is, will there be any additional forces? So yeah, red and orange are trying to draw the line here. So there is a slight problem with this, depending on how your opponent react. Because what happens is, if you do cut in and your opponent have a pincer attack, you're gonna have a hard time defending. This doesn't look good for Teal. Teal's commander definitely don't want to be taking all of those free shots against those brutes. But the question is, will Teal go aggressive or just play more cautiously? Because in terms of DPS, pawn isn't bad. Yes, they won't survive very quickly. And right now we do see some engagement. So we clearly see that orange has assigned a bunch of construction bot up there so that... Oh, they're building a vehicle plant further to the front to help support. Now earlier I did say, if the opponent could have a pincer attack, it will work against you. But if you can somehow use that to push in deeper because your opponent doesn't have the proper defenses, that could work out. And right now, I mean, red and orange doesn't know that, but we could see that, yes, there are stealths here, but if they could push through here and take out some metal extractors, Teal's economy is going to be in trouble. And I actually don't know... And orange is going for rocket bots. So without proper support, blue static defenses will get crushed up here. But the question is, will Teal be able to hold? Because right now essentially Teal is facing off against two players. Because for blue, they're... Their units are kind of in the middle of nowhere. They're not quite doing much. And I guess I should be looking at green. So green is pushing towards... Oh, teal decided to go straight for yellow. If they could do enough damage, yellow is gonna be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, especially if they lose this vehicle plant. They have these construction vehicles, but their economy is not where they want it to be. And right now, teal is smartly going after these. But the question is, are they gonna leave themselves too wide open, right? Because right now they are allowing red and orange to push pretty far. But if yellow is eliminated, then you can say, okay, so red is coming to support, trying to keep them alive. But it's not looking good. Because this does mean that friendlies for yellow are trying to support them. And right now their economy is in shambles. I don't even know how many metal detectors they still have. I think that's like the only one. Okay, they're sharing resources, means that they kind of expect that things might not go so well. Exploiters. They are pushing quite forward. Oh, shoot. So, while I was busy, and probably where orange was also busy, looking down there, blue is making a move. Yeah, so by pushing through the middle, is orange's commander... Yeah, orange's commander, because was so far down there and their focus was there. Yes, they pushed a bit deeper in the center, but their flanks were wide open. There wasn't a commander, so they can't build as quickly. And with the damage taken here, orange is gonna have a hard time. So just as I was distracted watching the bottom here, at the moment they have found the underbelly of their opponents. And a single guard is not gonna do enough to stop all of these solar collectors from taking a massive hit. And I just don't see... And now blue is finally making their push. Maybe they are looking to finally seal the fate of yellow. Looks like it's a GG. I mean, it's obvious because of the fact that the flanks collapse, right? So if you push through the center, it's good, but the moment your flanks collapse, all you're doing is just having a much larger front to defend against, and that's just not going to happen. So what we have seen here is that pushing through the middle is fine, but the moment your flanks collapse, there's not much you can do with that center. Now it's possible that green is just more experienced than yellow, because I didn't even notice when they just absolutely pushed them essentially to their starting location. Blue versus orange was a bit more different because the orange commander was more in the center, and while that helped with the center push, that left their flank wide open, and there wasn't a lot, honestly. Like, once blue broke through here, as you can see here, there isn't a lot of other wreckages around here. So essentially, the moment blue broke through here, they were able to target the economy of orange. And of course, they didn't just stop. They saw some resistance, they kept pushing, they went after red. And then at this point, what is red going to do, right? Are they gonna keep holding the center, which doesn't quite work? Are they gonna support their allies? Their own economy is taking a hit. So overall, yeah, it was yeah, this is the thing about these 3v3 battles. You can be very dominant in the center, but if your flanks break, suddenly you have no way of defending this because all your defenses will be focused here, and these are static defenses. They're not moving. So the moment they circle around, and I do remember in the last video I was like, oh, if you build your solar collectors or what further to the front is risky. It's a double-edged sword. It is risky, but at the same time, let's say you did build up an economy, you lose a good chunk of this, but if you're still able to fight, I guess you're not out of the game. So if you're completely encircled, yeah, you're screwed either way. Yeah, it was also interesting to see a different map where the wind turbine is just not worth it. And yeah, nothing against green. Like my earlier mention of this guard, I felt it came way too early. Because unless someone goes for a vehicle plant or a bot lab immediately, I don't think anyone could rush you that quickly. Do you eventually need it? Yes. Did they needed it then? Maybe not. But I mean, green also like made huge progress that distracted a good portion of the enemy units, which allowed blue to do what they needed to do here. So who am I to judge? I'm not judging, I'm just sharing my observation. So let's see it play out. Destroying enemy resource production, eco noob, yep, because they were able to circle around. Destroy enemy units and defenses. Green did push forward quite steadily. For blue, it was more of break through this choke point and then their units could just flood through. Efficient use of resources. I'm not surprised that it's green. I mean, honestly, they were the first one to break through, and because they distracted some, I can't remember if it was red or orange units here, it meant that it was harder to respond to the blues push forward. Red took the most damage, which kind of makes sense because they were most engaged in the center. And if the flanks didn't collapse, it would be interesting to see how the center will play out. Because at that point, would red force the other two to react, and would that give them an opening? It's hard to tell. Overall, that was a fun little 3v3. I definitely feel like I'm learning, and that's also very different from your scenario battles, right? So scenarios is set up a certain way, it's gonna play out differently. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.